If embryos have full moral status, is abortion always morally impermissible? Well, for some, the answer is clearly yes. To say that the embryo has full moral status is to say it has a right to life, and abortion constitutes a clear violation of that right. If the woman or girl is pregnant due to rape, she's clearly the victim of a terrible crime, but it's a crime to which the embryo is an innocent bystander. It didn't ask to come into existence through such means, but come into existence it has. But some, including some in the natural law tradition who endorse the full dignity of the embryo, argue that respect for that life is consistent with some exceptions, including, critically, abortion for pregnancies resulting from rape in cases where the mother's life or health is profoundly at stake. Their claim isn't that such circumstances justify violating the fetus's right to life, but that in these cases, ending pregnancy doesn't constitute a violation of that right in the first place. Let's take a look. We can start by remembering the unique situation of pregnancy. Whatever else we say about it, it's not like a more standard example of killing, in which one person interferes with another, interrupting the trajectory they would have enjoyed but for your presence. The embryo and early fetus don't have a trajectory independent of the pregnant woman. It's living in and from her body, living by means of her bodily resources. In a sense, her body is providing life support, without which the fetus would die. But this may have implications for certain cases of abortion. For the right to life doesn't include the right to every form of assistance needed to sustain that life. Some cases of abortion, it's argued, join other tragic life and death cases in which one person needs another's organ or ongoing transfusions of their bone marrow in order to survive. To provide that assistance would be wonderful, but there may be cases in which it's permissible to decline it. So take the case of a woman or young girl who becomes pregnant as a result of rape. In essence, she finds herself in the midst of giving life-sustaining assistance. It's a life that needs it, an innocent life to boot. The embryo isn't doing anything wrong by being in her body. It's not doing anything intentional at all. It can't help needing the assistance in order to live, but it is a profoundly extensive assistance. We remember pregnancy changes every physical system in the woman's body, redirects resources, changes its very boundaries. At its terminus, it involves childbirth, something which is the equivalent in terms of bodily involvement as undergoing surgery. To provide continued pregnancy asks an enormous amount of her, and judged not just in terms of discrete risks or burdens that she might bear, but the profound use of her very body. Agreeing to provide such assistance, like agreeing to provide the organ or the bone marrow, is a noble and wonderful thing, but the one in need doesn't have a right to its provision. Providing the continued use of her body in this circumstance, it's argued, must be understood as a moral gift, not a moral obligation. So matters would be different if the intercourse had genuinely been voluntary. Even if one's taken precautions to prevent conceiving, one knows there's a chance that it will happen, and the result would be creation in your body of a new life, a life which, again, on current supposition has as much moral status as any of us, and which you know would need the sustenance and protection of your body in order to mature until it can survive on its own. If you voluntarily nonetheless proceed, you've taken on an obligation to provide that help. On this view, then, aborting would be a grave moral wrong, a violation of the fetus's right to life. The claim isn't that one who's pregnant from rape has a right to end the fetus's life. The claim instead is that she may have a right to end the state of pregnancy, to return her resources to their original condition. If the fetus could somehow survive the procedure, she must let it. This means that if there's any chance the fetus is close to viability, you must restrict the methods you use to end pregnancy to maximize the chance the fetus could live. Those details notwithstanding, the background condition for the wrong of abortion is what we can call assumption of risk. Whether it's reasonable to say that the woman has assumed the risk of her body being needed in this way.